Yes, sir. We're back. This is Pirate Radio Invasion live on USF Bulls Radio.
Yeah.
We've been chopping it up with the homie H and with his artist V. But we got some more people in the building. I want to definitely welcome Orlando Davis from CBS Radio.
What up?
Wow, 94.1.
Appreciate it.
How you doing,
Thanks for
sir?
coming through, homie.
Hey, man, no, it's cool, man. Y'all like what y'all doing up here. And I had to come up here and let me move over here so I don't give y'all no feedback. But, I had to move over here, just come over and party with y'all a little bit and protect my name.
Appreciate that.
I'm sure it's some local guys out there.
Hey, man, I got to say, I got a lot of love for what you do, and definitely been a listener for a long time. And in my circle of the independent scene or whatever, that's not actually a popular thing to say. And
I'm not a popular guy.
You're popular.
I'm popular. Like, your mom might like me. You know what I'm saying? Wait.
Shots fired.
No. Your auntie, your kid's teacher. You're like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the radio guy. I'm the guy that's like, good morning.
Hey, salute, Orlando. We really glad that you here, King. Real
I did not mean about your moms, dog. People like, damn, going in. He talking about his mama, man. It's about to get real. No.
Your mama.
But
your mama like me, so
look, I wasn't privy to. I saw a lot of behind the scenes conversation going down while I was in the mix, and I am excited to hear some of that talk because it looked like there was an intense discussion happening.
I mean,
and you here for a reason.
Fans do that. Fans do that.
Yeah,
I mean, ultimately we here on a Friday night because we fans of this culture, and realistically, I'll tell you. I mean, I'm in radio. This kind of venue is dope, and it needs to be heard. Like there are not too many commercial outlets that could really allow this to happen because money rules it. Right. And but if Mountain Dew came here and was like, no, this is what we need, or Truck Fit or Skaters Anonymous or whoever came in and was like, let me cut the check because this needs to be heard, I think it would be dope. There would have to be some rules and stuff like that. Like keep the arguing down to 6 minutes and all this other stuff. Sponsored by whatever.
That's
the webcam will be sponsored. Yeah, you got to do all that.
All right. So look,
H got a CD dropping.
Indeed. Power.
Please believe it. And
Power is out
tomorrow.
It's a party tomorrow too. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Crowbar.
O's gonna be in the building. O's gonna be in the building.
O's gonna be in the building.
Hey, you know what?
Did y'all hear that on Pirate Radio?
Wait a minute.
H said it. H said
O said it. I heard O say it.
Okay, so here's the deal. Because I'm divorced now. So, but I still got to ask a woman. I got to find out if my nanny can watch my daughters tomorrow, and then I'm coming.
That's what's
so
up.
My nanny is running things right now.
Real talk.
So I can be up here. I'm paying a nanny to be here. So be clear.
Appreciate that.
No.
Now, obviously, the main reason you came, we had a discussion, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, where one of our colleagues was tweeting back and forth with you.
Yeah, y'all said he's a dope musician.
Shout out to Kino Circules.
And he plays everything. Like somebody likened him to Prince. Somebody likened him to Prince.
Really? I can say this. I've seen him on the drums, and he's just as dope live on the percussions as a drum machine. Yeah. The boy's mean.
Better.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Better. I'll take that.
He's played on stage with Wu-Tang Clan and some other
show with them.
And he's part of the
with
Guan Massive Collective. Yeah. You know what I mean? So salute to them.
Tribal style.
So, but he told me how dope he was, though.
Oh,
That's
yeah, I'm
always
sure.
a problem.
No,
he told you.
That's always a problem.
No, that was me. That was me.
Hey, Kanye just did that. Kanye said he's a genius.
You're right. And I don't like when Kanye does that. I don't like that. I don't really have time for that. If you tell me how great you are, I really don't have to listen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I told you, like, people open up with, oh, man, I'm hot, son. I'm hot, son. Here we go, the pre-fight hype. Here we go. The dopest people I've ever heard have never told me how good they were.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, singers. I'm not just talking about rappers.
And you've met a lot of people.
I did alternative radio for 5 years, so, I mean, you talk about breaking bands, 7 Married 3, Sister Hazel, like those bands like that all came through, I mean, Alanis Morissette, Sarah McLachlan, like I got plaques up there from Clive Davis from them. So I mean, those dope people never said how hot they were.
They just came and let the music speak for itself.
You just bumped into them in an open session. It was like, damn, who was that?
Well, let me do what I've done for the last 3 artists that have touched the mic, and now for you.
Rewind.
We have an international listening audience at this point, and there are some people who may not know your resume. Certainly, I know all of Tampa Bay knows you quite well, but we would really love for you to reintroduce yourself. Right. Please let the people know what's your name, what you about, what do you do.
My name is Orlando. Orlando Davis. I go by Orlando here on the air at Wild 94.1. Orlando and the Freak Show. I'm the program director of the station. We signed on the station in '98, and I was the music director and did afternoons, and I became program director. Y2K. So they said the world was going to end. I guess it did. So I became program director, and what that is just basically the person who decides what plays, deals with the labels and everything else. Lives with a lot of the misconceptions that we're going to talk about today. Like let's lay out a thesis.
Yeah,
we're going to talk. We're going to talk about envelope money, apparently, because I heard that mentioned on the thing. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Well, just so we can educate. Everybody said, "Oh, Orlando, you need to take the time to come to events and put us all up on game," not knowing that I get cussed out and followed home, and oh dog, you got 2 weeks to play my record or you're gonna die.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Yeah,
radio problems.
No, yeah, I'm saying people scratching up your car, leaving the CDs. That's why I was like, USBs would be so much, it'd be so much better on my paint job. Just whatever. So we're gonna cover those kind of aspects, and the fact is, the reason I came up here is because what y'all are doing is something that I'm passionate about, even if it's on the HD2 side of it, because. I did a show that literally, most of the DJs won't say this. And we're going to cover the fact that everybody quotes Flex and Angie and all these people, but I actually know those people, so I'll tell you when y'all was wrong about saying what they do.
All right.
But, I did a show and I failed. I did the Sunday Session, which was a hip-hop show, freestyles, artists that we broke J. Cole. And, J. Cole talks about this market giving him more love than Fayetteville because of what we did with him. When he came to the Sunday Session and freestyled in the room, and people called up I don't believe what just happened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So how can you call that a failure? That's not a failure.
No, it did fail.
It's a corporate failure, but in terms of hip-hop culture, it's a win.
But see, hip-hop culture dies because it don't make money.
Yeah.
Jay-Z ain't the president of Def Jam anymore because he didn't make any money.
Yeah.
He made his own self money. I was watching this movie tonight.
Yeah.
But as far as a job, I have to make money for my company.
Indeed.
And then I don't get a voice. Yeah. And so that's where that problem comes from. So that show failed. But what y'all are doing, I'm passionate about.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because Bobby earlier mentioned that as an independent artist, one of the things is that a lot of independents rebel against corporate radio, corporate hip-hop. Oftentimes there's that disconnect, that divide between I'm about making this money for my company, my business, and then there's I'm in love with the culture, right? and that disconnect often leads to some of what you're talking about in terms of those shots that you are catching from cats that are like, where you at? Where's the love for us on the underground? Where's that underground love?
I understand that though, because when you see people looking at what we do, and they're like, man, you got an avenue for us to get in. Or basically, if you ever lived in the hood, I'm from Gary, Indiana, so I live in one of the worst hoods.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about people talking about, how we get in, that's what the answer you would get. I see you, how we get there, what you gonna do for us? Right. So that's the response. What you gonna do for us? So, and I'm not mad at that. But I get angry when shots are nothing. You're on the radio, you're gonna take shots. I'm a round man on the radio, so I'm gonna take shots, and I have an opinion, so I'm gonna take shots. But what I really, really get heated on is when people start. It's not really new, because people have done it in our culture forever. If a fight break out in the club tonight, somebody who wasn't even in the fight gonna go home and be like, man, I was right there. I seen everything.
I seen it.
Dude got knocked out boom. I was grabbed his drink before he fell. They're gonna embellish the whole thing.
Right.
And so when people start saying, oh, you don't do this, you don't help local artists, and I'm like, there's so many of them out there. Why even argue? Why are you even talking? You don't even know what you're saying.
I can speak.
And so, resumes or whatever ain't important, but I've broken a couple of them.
Yeah, a couple big ones. And ones that were considered local at the time. The
local artists, Two Pistols, Plies, Rated R. Crazy did a tour where it took him to Hawaii off of Roll'em, and we put Roll'em on the radio. Nobody else played Roll'em.
No, I remember
and
that.
he got offers for that. Kaya's My Neck, My Back came here. Daniel Glass called me and said, hey, who is this? What is this record you playing? It's the dirtiest damn record I ever heard. And took it to his boardroom, and they're like, we can put this out. And Kaya got paid off that. Yeah. Taz in Miami is living well off my neck, my back. Like, go to Live and see them 22 Taz's Angels standing up there on the couches. Please believe it. You know, so, I mean, but not just that, but like, you know, techno records like DJ Sonic's Your Love Feels So Good. Your Love Feels So Good.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
smash.
Me.
Well, let me get in there real quick because I'm gonna ask you some of these difficult questions because I got love for you.
Feel free, man.
But I want to
one
ask you
round guy to a round guy. You can ask me.
Thank you.
whatever.
Right round. Salute to the
On our
round
show,
guy.
he's known as Portland.
Hey,
We have a different term for him.
Portly.
yeah, man, because you
Portly.
already know.
Portly. Much
But I
better
won't
than
tell him
Husky.
that.
Husky would make me break out when I was like in 6th grade. My mom was like, "You got a Husky section?" I'm like, "Damn!
Why she had to say that?
Why we gotta go to the Husky section? Ain't no cross colors in the Husky section."
So check. One of the things that you overheard on the show that you didn't like previously was someone jumped in and said you don't support hip hop, and you just named a slew of artists that you do support. Now, I think one of the misconceptions and what's interesting about Tampa in particular is Tampa has 2 hip hop communities. They got the Juke trap community and they got the boom bap community.
Right.
And I think that when you get those shots thrown at you, the artists that you named really fall under Juke. They fall under that Tampa sound.
Yeah.
Right? They don't fall under, there's a large boom bap community here. What about them?
Well, what I'm telling you is when I reciprocate what the audience is asking for, like, I mean, at a small level, when Roll'em or whatever came out, I'm in a club and I see 2,000 people start moving to something. I'm like, I need to find that guy. Right. Like, that's why when people say, how do I get on the radio? I'm like, do what you do so well. That's all.
You have been a staple for hip hop in this community since the 90s.
People will
right?
not even listen to you because you just said that.
But feel me.
Like,
but look, we're just gonna
lost
keep
22
it,
listeners.
I don't
right?
care. We're gonna keep it 100%.
Like, who the hell is this guy
The man been on the radio, and I don't hear no other PD on no other station with their name on the show. It's Orlando and the Freak Show. So you wearing the crown, and when you wear the crown, everybody comes for the king.
I'm not.
You understand?
But see, that's not true.
That's
not true at all.
Okay, then tell me what your perspective.
I'm just gonna tell you the truth. There's no king or none of that. Wild is wild because of the people, and that's not just the people in the building, but outside the building. People rock with us. They come to Wild Splash. They spend all day out there in the hot sun. You know, some people have had babies from Wild Splash. Be very clear. You know, but like people support us because they like, wow, y'all are different. Y'all like us. Y'all are a whole bunch of people who love the music. What happened was like. I love hip hop. I went to college. Me and Common were freshmen at FAM together. You know what I'm saying? He went and made Can I Borrow $1 and didn't make, you know, it didn't go aluminum. You know, but
he was still borrowing $1.
It didn't. He was really Can I Borrow $1? But I mean, Gumby's Pizza every night in Delta's talent shows, me and him spitting and stuff. And I mean, and I was nowhere near on a Common level. Right. But just the fact that I'm from Gary, he's from Chicago, we clicked up in college, and I watched this man leave college, and I'm like, I got a dream too. I want to rhyme, but I also want to be a broadcaster and blah, blah, and do all these things. So I got a love for it that other PDs don't have. So just because you're a PD doesn't mean you're supposed to get the call. But I'm like, when people tell me you should be breaking local artists, I'm like, that is really, really elitist to say. Yeah. Because I'm not Clive Davis of this area, but I call him Uncle Clive because I've learned a lot from him. And when people say you could put people up on game, I'm like, yeah, if they listen. But if all they're telling me is how hot they are and how stupid I am for not playing them, I'm like, man, whatever. I don't have time for that. Why? I'm gonna leave my house to come get yelled at a local event?
Well, you just mentioned 2 things that I will take credit for. I mentioned on the last show, obviously you didn't like it, I mentioned those white envelopes.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, you know, is the behind the scenes talk, and that the big homie Funkmaster Flex has openly been accused of is that white envelope. You know what I mean?
Listen, I don't want to throw no names out there because listen, Flex can be accused.
I don't think accusations are just accusations.
Let me tell you those, but see, that has noise. Like if somebody says, man, I can't really tell you the truth, but I heard Orlando like to sniff armpits. that rumor right there can be bigger than the truth.
Your truth. Yes.
So let me just tell you, Flex does his thing, and Flex has been there a very long time because he gives the legendary numbers, and he works hard. So everybody else can say what they have to say, but I want it to just be unequivocally clear since y'all have a lot of people around.
Absolutely.
But here's the deal: there's a book called The Hitman by Frederick Dannon. I read that book. And honestly, I ain't talked to record reps for about 3 months after that, because I was like, they shady, they in the mob, they crazy. Like, like that's all about, like, you really want to be real. That's like when Pink Floyd, you remember Pink Floyd, The Wall came out, and they decided they didn't want to pay program directors to play their record. They're like, we got the hottest record in the clubs, and the heads are loving us. We don't want to. You can't decide to tell us that we have to pay to get on the radio. Indeed. They need to play our record, so they decided not to pay anybody, and their record sat at the bottom of the chart. Wow. And it was so gangster because as soon as that money went out, they went to number one.
Wow.
The Wall would have never been The Wall had they not paid that money. And then Rico, as far as racketeering, all of that. If anybody, be very clear. If you write me, and the person who you were talking about wrote me, and I'll say this, I'm not airing it out on him, but I'm saying a lot of people make this mistake. Going to a radio person and saying, hey, dog, how much it costs to get on the radio?
It's crazy.
Honestly, it's now you have just now challenged my child's college fund.
Right.
And I don't want to talk to you no more.
Yeah.
I'll block you. I'll be like, man, I'm sorry, you just broke the law.
Yeah.
I'll holler at you later.
Yeah.
Like, people have dropped envelopes in our office, and we've chased them to the airport and say, hey, you dropped this, bro.
Yeah, take that back.